Good morning, traders! Let's go ahead. Let's get it started. Hit that bell, hit the like, hit the share button. Tell all the world. I don't know why I'm so loud this morning. No one's in the house. Let's go. Let's throw it up. Let's get it started. Where's the pump? If you feel me, hit the like button. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome to it. Time to make that money.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas law, that phrase.
Kiana.
Fisher.
Joy.
Joe. Cards drawn are the past, ones to come are future.
And the best part? It's beatable.
Let's go, let's go! Long the coffee game, and of course, long Ryan and Zunaid. What's going on, guys? How we doing?
Mitch, I'm going to need you to turn up your energy level. You don't have enough today. And we're going to need that in order to.
I agree.
I'm already lowering the mic. I already hear.
I'm already lowering.
You're too loud. You're too loud, Mitch.
I love it, man. Hey, welcome. As Ryan informed me, or educated me, or reminded me, it is Synthetic Friday, which means tomorrow the market's closed. And then today, I already told Ryan, I'm looking to donate to the cause, as he said yesterday, on some NVIDIA Lottos.
Guys.
You know, I'm just saying, look, you know, I need that tax write-off, man. No, I'm joking. But I'm excited, man. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and kick things off. And as I share my screen right here, right now, I'm going to add it to the stream as well.
Right here, right now.
Apple 170 ended up being resistance earlier. Resistance. Then it ended up being support.
So early yesterday, Zunaid.
Right here ended. Look at, see, resistance turned into support. What do you know? I was annoyed as hell. Let me tell you why I was annoyed. This thing could not break down 171 if the FBI tried to break down that door. They just couldn't. Look how many times they tried in this 10-minute candles that you see throughout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times they could not do it. They couldn't even do it pre-market here. So, but support, you can see clearly the range is $1. So at least I was able to trade that. But I was losing value on my options. So what's the game plan here? I've already got some orders out on Thinkorswim to buy this at about 170. Let's just go ahead and put about 100 shares right here as well. That's the game plan on Apple. Stop loss, probably let's just call it about, well, we'll give it about 60 cents. So 169. Let me go ahead and put this down here about, we'll give it, there you go. 169.40 is my out on that. So I'm risking about 60 cents, hoping to get at least about 171 touch and see what happens in life there. Tesla. What a nice play this was off of the $1,000 level. We got a chance to play Tesla yesterday. If you grab those lottos, those 1050s, they were up 100% at one point. I went ahead and sold all of those. Here we go once again, though. You've got Tesla at the $1,000 level. I believe we go ahead and start moving higher. If I see some calls coming in, especially the 1050s, I might be interested in those. And then I absolutely want to talk about my NVIDIA. If this can come back and test the 220s, I'm absolutely interested in this. But if it clears this 225, weird candle here, by the way. I checked all my brokers and whatnot. Not sure what happened. Don't know if it was, I don't know, whatever. But 225 is a level that I'm keeping an eye on. If we get above 225, and if I see whale money coming into NVIDIA, I will go ahead and get some calls that make me uncomfortable. And that's what I like doing. So those are the stocks that I'm keeping an eye on. And obviously Twitter, you know, I'll let someone else talk about Twitter because I'm sure you guys already know what's going on. I didn't get all the way to 54. I don't even know about that. I need Elon to tweet during the market, please. Like, can we not tweet at 7:30, or can the filing not come out at 7:30, please? I'm not awake at that time, and I'd like to play these. Look at the dip. Yeah, the filing came out at 7:30 or whatever, or you tweeted it out with it, whatever that is. But just tweet it. Just be like, hey, I'm thinking about taking Twitter at 54. You know what I mean? I don't know. Help me out a little bit. But Twitter fading since that news. Remember, I told you guys last week that, listen, this is a buying opportunity on Twitter when it dips, because this man's going to gobble up some more shares. He's going to mess with them. He's going to do something. He didn't gobble up more shares. He just said, I'm going to go ahead and buy you out. So excited to see what happens with Twitter. I might have to hit up somebody who knows options a lot more than me and play. I think it's called a strangle, where it's pretty much like, hey, the stock is going to be above this price or below this price by a certain time because either the board comes back and accepts it, or Elon buys more shares, or Elon dumps his shares and the stock price goes back to around 39 or 40 where it was before this whole shenanigan began. So my Twitter calls are going to be nice and pretty, which is what I'm going to invest, quote unquote, in the Nvidia move. But I am going to look to play this somehow, some way. But that's what I've got today. And yeah, I do have energy, man. I've been doing well. And I've got Mitch rubbing off on me. So how can you not? And it's Friday.
I see you. You're going to bust one of those strangles out there, guys. A strangle option. I used to actually, that was probably the option play that I liked the most when I started researching options. So that's when you're expecting a high volatile move, but you don't really care which direction it goes. So it could go down, up, but what you're looking for is for the stock to move. That's what's going to help you in a strangle. And we'll see what happens.
Same with the straddle.
Same with the straddle, yeah.
And one of the other things about strangles and straddles, think of it, if you're a football fan, think of it like it's either a touchdown or a turnover. There ain't no field goals in this puppy or first downs. It's a touchdown or a turnover. So
Hail Marys is what we want to be seeing.
A lot of the times you're going to have to put some capital in it, and the risk of losing all that capital is very, very real. So understand it. However, scoring touchdowns, obviously, very, very rewarding.
If this is true right here, and again, I need to check out Pro and see what the haps are. I would be interested to see right out the bat what Twitter calls are looking like for, like, just say the 52s today or whatever the case may be. Just oh, there it is right there. Look at that. Bang. Appreciate you. Who said that? I see it. David, I appreciate that.
David probably has Benzinga Pro because he knows what's going on.
That's what the deal is
right now.
Because I mean, we just David, we appreciate you being an asset here. But it might even be worth playing. We're gonna Ryan, today's the day. Today's the day that I either work 10 hours for Benzinga and make up the money that I'm gonna lose, or at least attempt to. Or we just have a great day with Twitter, baby.
All right, I'll put on a pot of coffee since you're gonna be up late. Anyways, just kidding. The one thing I will say here about Twitter, that's a really good segue. Let's just go right into it. One thing I will say about Twitter here is that the market action, at least here in the pre-market, tells you that they don't think that this offer is going to stand, meaning it's probably going to be either rejected or something else is going to happen. Shout out, little nod to Elon for making it $54.20 as the offer price. Elon does have quite an awesome sense of humor. But to your point about playing Zunaid, I want to see what happens when the market opens. I think this is going to be volatile because I think the market's telling you right now, we don't think this is going to happen. Twitter needs to be fixed. I'm just gonna go out there and say it. It is broken right now. It absolutely needs to be fixed. There is way too much censorship, way too much partisan, one-sided behavior going on with the management and the censoring team. It absolutely needs to be fixed, and I do think Elon can do it. I caught a discussion earlier this morning, and they brought up a really good point that I hadn't thought of. Is Elon going to be running day to day? I don't know the answer to that. I don't think anyone knows the answer to that. I'm not even sure what his plan is. So I want to see what a lot of this, I want to see how this reacts at the open before we end up trading it. I'd love to hear headlines out of that board meeting. We'll see how it goes. I'm definitely interested in this one. But I don't think this is a foregone conclusion that we're going higher. Now, we can get back to this discussion real quick. Let me just give you some of the small caps that I'm looking at. So you can
Let's go. Let's take a look at the small cap land. We've been killing it lately, guys. Definitely been killing it. Got to give a shout out to Ryan and Zunaid on top of the VERU. Yesterday on top of ATER. There you guys have it. The one and only right here on Live Trading with Benzinga. What do you got for us today, Ryan?
Well,
when's the next banger coming?
Well, first of all, ATER, and let's just start there. ATER and VERU, these are still on the board, right? So you could see we have the old levels that we discussed previously, but let's go ahead and chart this one out because this is absolutely in play today. Really the key thing here to watch is the volume. That's the case with all of these plays that I end up talking about. If they're going to get the volume flow, you're going to have your opportunity. If they don't get volume, it's just a pass. It's a no touch. ATER, here we go. Let's see if we can curl back up through 575. We have a high. Yesterday's intraday high is 664. We'll see if we can end up getting there. VERU's a little bit different because we've also got here. I've actually already charted this one. You can see going back to some of the lines that we drew yesterday as well. VERU's interesting because there was another thing yesterday. Oppenheimer, which is a very respected firm, says VERU could hit 36. Remember, they got, I think, a $38 or a $37 price target. This is Oppenheimer, but there was another one here. There was price 24 from HC Wainwright. Oppenheimer says it can go even higher than that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here today. This one's absolutely in play, both ATER and VERU. We've already traded them. We already kind of know that they're crazy, especially out of the open here. KLDO, this had a monster day yesterday. It really pushed out of the open and kind of bled all of its gains back. What's interesting is that in the pre-market today, it went right back to that 50 spot. You think that's a coincidence? Because I sure as hell do not think that is a coincidence. So let's see if this one's in play. I normally don't play stocks that are under $1, but in this case, I might just double up my position size and give it a shot because this looks like a pretty decent chart to trade. That is pretty much it. Dolphin DLPN. This has some connection to the NFT space, so this one might get going. Well, we have a earnings report here, which is causing the company to trade higher. We have some pretty decent volume in the pre-market. We'll see if that continues. That one's going to be on there. I think Rite Aid. This might be in play today. We'll see if I actually haven't charted this one yet. We'll see how Rite Aid acts out of the gate. And then I think that was it. I think I had one more here that I was looking at. So the uraniums, right? We were talking, I'd actually taken a UEC call position several weeks ago. I'm still in it, but if it goes up even more today, I will probably close that for a 100% gain. I bought my contracts at 30 cents, looking to sell them at 60 cents. Yesterday, we had a bid-ask spread of 55.60. I couldn't get filled. So we'll see if UEC runs today. You might also be able to trade the equity here. And then also UUUU, quadruple U. This also has a really nice chart. These look like they might push. I want to see volume flow as always. If I tried to honor you by having a ton of energy, I hope I did you right.
Yeah, definitely. That's what it's all about, guys. And that's what we're here for, right? Is learning through the process, trying to find these trades and looking at the watch list. A lot of times, I think, whether it be Ryan, Zunaid, or I, we're looking in the right area. We can't give you guys trades. That's not what we're here for. But what we're here to do is to point in certain areas like, hey, look over here. Make your own trading investment. But one thing we can do is teach you from our process. How do we find these stocks? Where do we look? I know Ryan uses his scanner often, and you guys can be using the Benzinga scanner in real time, guys. So definitely check that on out. I think at some point, maybe today, we can go into Ryan's scanners
Sure.
and how he actually sets them up. I think that's important on Benzinga Pro because he finds these moving all the time and tells us, hey, something just popped up on my scanner here. We'll go into that a little bit later today.
Sure.
Let's go ahead. Let's talk about some stocks out there. What could be moving today? I'm going to be watching that UEC, of course, has made a huge move. Could pull back to 6 today, but that's been a lovely, lovely move to watch there. Great call on that one, Ryan. I want to give you a shout out on that before I get going here. MP is one I'm going to be watching today. We were talking about lithium plays in pre-market, and when I see everybody start keeping their eyes in a certain area, I'm going to do so also. So one thing I tell you guys is look at this MP pullback on the 9 EMA. It looks like a measured pullback. We're going to look for a rip out above 52 today. Take a look at the hourly. You'll see the 52 right above that. It's gone up there before, cut down there on kind of Tuesday to Wednesday, and then recovered yesterday. We're going to look for a little bit of a pullback towards, let's say, 51.21s, but then a breakout above 52. We'll see if we get that move. And MP, of course, watch LAC. LAC is another driver in lithium. We'll see if this one can get above 32.40s today. You could see a little pull down to 31st and then the breakout. But I'm going to actually look for this to just really just give us a nice go right out the gates through 32, going up towards that 32.46 or 32.50 area. Let's get out of this. Take a look at QuantumScape. This is another one I've been talking about, looking for the potential breakout back towards 22. You got this nice drive. You got some sideways consolidation here. Now we're looking for the push above the 1860s, going to 19. A close above 19 today would look really good on QS, especially on the daily, that you would have that nice little push back, nice bullish golfing candle put in yesterday. Today, it's looking like it's trying the highs. We'll see what happens in QS. All right, let's keep going. I'm looking for potentially shorting NIO here. I think this is a potential great short. The big thing for me is that China is locked down right now, and they just put out news. And when this kind of dropped here, it was because they put out negative news in China that essentially the sales in China had gone down, and a lot of that due to the lockup. So to me, I think you have some good levels to go off of 2050 as the resistance. And if it just drops through 20s, it's going to be looking interesting for back towards 19. You can, of course, watch the other ones to see if they do the same thing. XPEV setting up also to break through 27 and come down towards 25. LI is another one you can watch for a break to 25, but LI usually has been holding up the price action. So just look for maybe one to lead and then catch the others. All right, let's go to coal. I'm still in XXC here, guys. It's up there towards the 960s already, looking for a breakout above 975. We got in this one at 907, so we're looking for a nice push above the 975 level. That's going to get us up towards about 8%. We're looking for a push towards 10 so that we can get a nice 10% winner in SXC. Yesterday, HCC was the one that I was looking for a nice rip, and that's exactly what we got yesterday. A nice move put in there in HCC. You could see a little pullback today to 38.75 and eventually keep on going. Steel had a good day also yesterday, eventually getting a nice push. NUE has been a really strong one there. Look for X to kind of catch up now. It's been sideways, has a couple of days where it's been fighting to get above 37. Today, we're right now trading at 36.87. So keep your eyes on that 37 right above. It could break out above that. All right, I got a couple more to run through XOM. I'm going to really try to go through these fast so that we can get towards the bell. Look at this hourly setup on XOM. I love the hourly setups on XOM. So now you can look for a push above 87. This does look interesting today for energy to have a nice push. MRO, of course, we'll watch for that. And the last one I'll give, let's go towards the cruise lines. Let's go to CCL. Yesterday, airlines having a great day. We'll look to see if these can start pushing. They didn't really push crazy yesterday. They kind of had like a little bit of a green day. We'll look to see if they get strong again. And for that being mentioned, take a look to see if you get a second day in these airlines to run, because that's what I would like to see if I'm going to go ahead and trade the cruise lines. Last one in lodging. This chart looks really good for me. That's why I'm going to call it out. Is CHH. You can see here, this is Choice Hotels International in lodging, cheaper kind of hotels here, but does look like it's setting on up on the weekly to now just catch that bottom around 135 and start pushing towards the 150. This is a slower mover, but I love this chart right here. And this is a weekly chart. So
yeah, that does look like a great chart, especially on that trend line break to the upside, my man. I would be interested in that.
Yeah, that's why we look at charts, right? We look for sometimes just for charts to stand out. And I was just going through the lodging charts and I was like, okay, so what stands out to me? Okay, the industry stands out to me. And I always love to see the industry chart kind of agree with some charts. So this is the industry overall. And you can see here, look at Choice, how it looks very similar to that. Very similar there.
Absolutely.
And so what does that mean? It trades very well with the industry. And if the industry is going to have a breakout, I'm going to look for Choice to have that laggard effect and catch the bid. And then boom, you start seeing the reaction come in. And what did we see? We saw Marriott lead the party yesterday and put in a nice bullish engulfing candle on the weekly. So look for maybe a continued run in lodging. All right, that's going to go ahead.
Can I answer one of the questions in the chat here real quick?
Yeah, that's a perfect time. Let's go ahead. Right. I'm wrapping up my stocks. What do you got in the chat there?
All right, so Ryan Milligan is asking here, what happened with the lithium play Benzinga reported to be taken over by Tesla? So, and I know there's a discussion here. They were talking about this being a bogus report. I want to go into a couple of things here to kind of help you if this ever happens in the future. So, first of all, we as a company, we always try to verify everything that we can. Sometimes that process takes some time. I won't go into the specifics of that. If you have more questions about that, I suggest that you talk to our news desk, and I'll show you how to do that here in a sec. But basically what I did when you asked that question was I brought Tesla up here and I went to the details tool and I click on all here for news. And then I'm going to go Control F to find lithium. All right, so let's go ahead and find. Did I spell it wrong or something? What the heck's going on here? What is up? It was I had it under press releases, didn't I? There we go. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and hit find for lithium, and I basically just scrolled down here and I took a look at all of the different news. So you'll see here there was a CEO report that Tesla acquiring lithium company is fake news. The Benzinga news desk is investigating these reports. There's a lot that goes on with the news desk and the writers behind the scenes. We're gonna post headlines as often as we can to try and help you with that. But if you ever need to figure out what happened, there's two ways to do this. Number one, do some of the due diligence or the reading, if you will, in the details tool. You will be able to draw up a timeline of some of the things that happened. Furthermore, if you need help or you're unsure what something means, we got you covered. And this is actually a feature that not a lot of people realize comes with Benzinga Pro. If you click on the intercom chat in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll notice that you can get sales support for your product, or you can talk to the news desk. So if you do send a message and you type in news here, NEWS, you'll end up going to the news desk. And you can ask our news deskers for clarification on different headlines, what it means, where they got it from, any other context that you might need. In some cases, obviously, if it's a breaking report and a fluid story, we might have posted all of the information that we have. This is extremely important, especially when you're learning how to parse through news and decide what news is worth trading on and what news isn't. So Benzinga Pro subscribers, do not forget, you absolutely, as part of your essential subscription, you can interact with our news deskers. They are news pros. All they do is news. They don't trade. They don't do support. They don't answer the phone. They do news. They are the most equipped to help you with any of the questions that you have on stories like that. So I hope that is helpful for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of common. One thing also to see is that whenever you see kind of a company being bought out, take a look at the price that it's in too. And a stock like that was mentioned, I think it was trading at like 80 cents, or was it? I think even cheaper than that. And so whenever you're seeing that, you got to be a little bit careful, right? Because you know that if it really is true, it's going to affect the stock massively. And if it isn't, it's also going to affect the stock massively. And so I think at that point, you always got to determine where the risk is there. And always remember, the algos are way faster than we react. And so in my eyes, I think when you get news like that, it's very hard to have an edge there. Informational edge on speed is going to usually go towards the algo unless there's a confusing factor in the headline. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get towards the open here. And as we get towards the open, you guys let me know if you guys get a trade, but I wanted to go ahead and highlight a mention earlier here. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll on up while we get towards the market here. And it's by Kyle Sanders here. And I'm going to also play a little tunes here for it. Let's see what we get here. There you go. All right, guys, just wanted to say that after watching a few months, you guys have become one of my favorite streams to watch. I'm not only learned a lot, but more importantly, y'all are nice and genuine people. Hey, shout out to you, Kyle. That's exactly what we're here for you, man.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for sure.
Yeah,
let's go ahead.
We all really appreciate that.
See, you've got the $50 calls on Twitter expiring today, already going for about 60 cents. So
don't stop believing, guys. Don't stop.
All right, you've got I forgot I have that.
Zunaid's getting to work here.
Well, I'm trying to look at Nvidia. Look at the pop, right? I mean, I know I move markets, but damn, moving Nvidia ever since I mentioned trying to play it, they trying to get me out the game, man. But anyway, look at Apple. I'm waiting here at the 170 level if everyone wants to come back down to it. Currently, went all the way as high as about 170.80. Again, that 171 is what we're trying to break here today. I'm going to go ahead and move this up. Let's have I do have VERU, by the way, trying to buy it at 14.59 if I can. I'm about 50 cents away from getting filled on that. Matter of fact, I'm actually going to move that down. I'm going to move that down to the previous close area, about 14.39 or so. Come on, man. Stocks come down a little bit. Give me a chance. Give me a chance.
Alert from FCX here, guys. So copper making a move here. Going to see if I can catch the move here. We'll see. Just popped on up there, looking for a retrace here.
I see a few Nvidia 230 calls coming in. I'm gonna take a couple of lottos here on Nvidia. I just got filled on Nvidia. 230 calls got filled at 141. Again, keep in mind today is Friday, so it is going to be risky because it's going to expire in less than 8 hours. But I am in at 141 for the 230 calls in Nvidia expiring today, filled at 141. Looking for the break out above 228.
All right, seeing that push come into FCX there. It didn't hit the VWAP by the time I caught it there. VWAP was at 49.75. I was thinking about jumping in there at 49.85, but it was a little bit extended away from the VWAP. Now it's breaking through 50. We'll see if copper can get moving today.
You've got your Nvidia calls that are up about 9%. Again, since it's a lotto for me, I want a lot more juice on this one, so I'm not selling. Apple trying to break above the 171 level. Going to test it here. Nvidia calls are now up about 20%. So you do what you got to do.
What's the impetus behind the Nvidia trade?
So for me, the Nvidia trade here, let me go ahead and come back to it. Sorry, give me a sec.
Yep, no problem.
I'm just looking at these other options coming in. You've got the Apple 170s coming in for today. So keep an eye on Apple popping above the 170. If it rejects and comes back to VWAP, I'd be happy with that. But there's Apple popping up 171, trying to break the pre-market highs of 171.20. Give me a sec, Ryan. Let me finish this trade and I'll answer your question.
Yep, you're all good.
All right, guys, taking a shot here in LAC here, guys. QS also crossing down there. That one looks interesting above 1880s. We'll see if that one can get moving there. Just pushed above 1861s, but taking my shot here, LAC. MP here.
Let me see where it is.
We're working today, guys. MP pushed up too also. I'll look for pullback on that one. That one looked also good here. It's trying to break 52 here.
Oh, there it is.
LAC might stop me out through the 60s right here.
I went ahead and got into Apple. That's why I was trying to focus on this one. I went ahead and got into Apple equity. What's my cost? Oh, ugly. 170.92 is my cost on Apple. My stop loss is going to be a break of 170.50. Apple, that's AAPL. Let me see if I can just buy a few shares here just for the sake of visualization.
SPY pushing hard there.
There we go. Stop loss going to be, let's call it 170.33 just because of that previous close there.
ATER popping, by the way, guys. First level here, 569. Let's call it 570, I suppose. And then 577. So let's see if we can take those out. Chef Martin, today is Thursday, but it is actually a synthetic Friday because the market is closed, as is Benzinga as a company. So that's why we're saying that. That's probably where the confusion lies.
Yeah, nobody tagged me in any Slack messages. All right, I'm kidding. I'm not doing anything tomorrow, as far as I know. But for me, it's just trying to like break through this downward trend on Nvidia, right? And so I'm looking for the breakout at least to come back and test the 240s. Now earnings is pretty far away. You're still got earnings about maybe a month and a half away. If it was a little bit closer, I'd be more confident in this. But I've got a level here from before at the 228. So I'm basically hoping for this break of 228. And if we can go ahead and test back the 240s, again, if the market is going to participate in itself as well, that's the main reason I'm excited about NVIDIA. And again, to me, I'm not going to do it until I see big money coming in. So when I saw a little bit of flow coming into the calls, that's when I went ahead and got into them. And those calls are still up about 15%, by the way. So make sure you guys do what is best for you, and I will do what is best for my account here. But that's what I'm in, and it looks like I did go ahead and get stopped out on Apple. I do have some shares here. You know,
stopped out there, LAC.
I'm gonna grab maybe 100 more here.
Coming into hourly support there on LAC. We'll see if it reverses from that 30.50 there.
Let's see if Apple comes back to test the 170 area or not.
Big, nice push in aluminum today. Taking a look at that. BTU also nice push there from the 30.45 to the 31.50s. Coke up there towards 973s. We'll look for a push above 10. Take that 10% off.
I'm going to go ahead and start a position here on Apple Lottos. I got the 170 calls expiring this week, aka today. I got filled at 116 on Apple. I'm going to keep buying these, especially if it gets to, matter of fact, let me go here. Where's Apple? Where's Apple? There, I already got an order out there to buy. Let's go ahead and change this to about 200 if we can. Looks like I just got filled. All right, when I got filled on Apple at 170.06, I'm going to go ahead and buy a couple more contracts here.
Still ripping, guys. I'm looking for pullbacks in it, but it hasn't pulled back at all from the open there. It's that move right out the open. It was pushing straight up.
Looking for a bounce here on Apple at that 170 level. Went and bought some more equity here on Apple as well. Come on, Apple. Don't disappoint me.
LEXX on the scanner looks like that's a breakthrough 4. We might actually have a trade here. So let's see if oh my God, there it goes through 4. Let's
nice push there in XOM today. Oil plays moving on up. I missed the 87 break, so we'll look for a pullback towards 86.75.
LEXX, big move out of the gate here. So UEC, this is one that we were talking about. This is actually dropping out of the open here. I was worried about this yesterday. When I didn't get my fill, I was like, this is going to pull back on me tomorrow. I can feel it. And sure enough, that's where we're at. So we'll watch UEC down a little bit here today, but still hopeful for this on the rest of the day. How is Quadruple U doing? By the way, LEXX halted at 410, so we're going to watch that when it opens as well. Yeah, all the uranium is pulling back here. We'll see if that holds.
Yeah, you've got the market as a whole. SPY, a little bit of a wick from that pre-market high, coming back, testing VWAP here, as is Nvidia holding the 224 level. Apple holding 170 thus far. I'm going to go ahead and move this one to a 5-minute candle for now.
Looks like financials having a good day from the open. We'll see if these can continue pushing on up there, but JPM trying to push their financial services, not doing too bad today.
VERU went ahead and missed my buy alert by a little bit. Looks like we've got some call activity in Nike.
The VERU move was fast, Zunaid. I was watching that too. I'm not sure I would have been able to hit that. That's got me on tilt.
Let's see what that Nike trade is. You've got Nike. They're buying the one. Here, let me go and pull it up. I went ahead and got some Nike equity as soon as I called it out, but they're buying the on Nike, they're buying the 135. It looks like expiring September 16th on Nike. Nvidia not looking too pretty. It's gone to the low of day again.
And Goldman Sachs coming down from the high of day. Remember, Goldman Sachs had earnings today. They beat. They were trading up. We gapped up here on Goldman Sachs. Went as high as 333. Pulled back 5 points here to 328. So Goldman Sachs, this actually might set up. I wonder what those calls look like. Let me take a look at those real quick. I haven't traded the banks in a long time. I feel like this is getting set up to be a donation here. Oh my God, they are so spready. Oh my God, Goldman Sachs calls spread over $1 on the contracts that expired today. Forget about it.
Let's go ahead and take a shot at Nike with those. See, the only thing with Nike is that those calls are coming in. They're a little bit out. They're all the way to September, and they're only $5. I'm gonna go ahead and sell my equity here just for the few cents of a loss. Disregard the Nike trade. If it was a little sooner, like if it was like a May move or whatever, it'd be perfectly fine. You do have VERU, by the way, right around VWAP or so. I can take a shot at VERU here. 200 shares got filled on VERU at 1586. Stop loss is going to be below VWAP. Let's just call it about 1540 is my stop loss on VERU.
SPY starting to drop there, guys. Be careful.
Yeah, that 170 level is holding on Apple. You see this VWAP, the yellow line. That's what we wanted to get over. And you've got the previous closes resistance at the moment as well. You can see the 5-minute candle wick on that. And then you've got SPY, as you mentioned. Testing the previous close, bounce from there, but it needs to get above VWAP if we're going to have any luck there at all. VERU coming down.
Twitter is still bleeding, guys. What do we say? The market was telling you all you needed to know.
VERU is just crucifying me here today. I just went and got filled my limit order at 1439. Already got stopped on the previous one. I mean, it just pierced through my stops. I'm sure I'm down like $400. Let's see. Oh, no, 153. I was tripping. I don't know why. But regardless, I believe it halted down. Let's see.
VERU
halted down.
Let's see.
VERU to the downside.
Correct. Trading halt 940. Yep.
Yep.
So it's going to resume at 947.
And here's what's unfortunate. I'm caught in the halt with 300 shares. You can see it right there. I got filled at 1439. It is the name of the game, unfortunately. So we will see how this opens up ugly for me. But so far, Apple is the only trade that's semi-working off of the bounce of 170. Nvidia has been bloody, and SPY's coming down, and that's not helping whatsoever. I should have seen this SPY level here at 445.
LEXX is going to open here pretty soon. We're going to watch that, see what it does. I'm out.
Right.
So
Looking for a reversal here. Looking for a reversal in LIC. I'm going to probably take another shot. I've just been waiting for it to balance out here. Now we just got 5 minutes of sideways consolidation here. Now it's probably where I'm going to take my shot here.
That 170 is holding decently well on Apple, but market ain't helping much.
Just got in there a little bit. Let's go ahead. Let's risk off the 30-25s here for LAC.
LEXX open. Going much higher, 440. Just took out that 420 level. Man, this thing is moving fast. This is going to be hard. So, okay. So I see more discussion in the chat here. It is Thursday. The calendar day is Thursday, April 14th. However, the market is closed tomorrow for Good Friday. So we call it a synthetic Friday. This is the last day of the week for those that are trading. That's, I think, what they means. Here we're calling ATER. I'm going to wait for LEXX to set up again. I'm like, easy for me to say. Let's take a look at ATER. We are above that level here. 577 was that spot. Next spot looks to be 6. See if we end up getting there.
I am in all.
Oh, they took that
wrong stop.
Oh man, this is going higher. I wish I would have taken. Let's see. This might have to wait for a pullback here to enter this. We'll see if we get one. There's one.
Yeah, I'm in all the wrong stocks here. Look at that move on Nike. You got yourself about a 50-cent move on Nike there. I completely missed it. That is on me.
Appreciate you, Angela. Angelita.
The market is pulling back here.
Yes, it is.
Pulling back here.
You've got Nvidia trying to bounce off of the previous close. Nike has great relative strength.
Here's the pullback I was waiting for in ATER. Not big enough yet, though. Still feel like this might be a little heavy. They're trying to run it to the highs.
Gonna keep it tight here on LAC. Just keeping a really close eye on that 28 level.
And Lex.
Just got hit right now.
Unreal.
Boom. Stopped out there to 25 level. Small trades here, at least. But definitely took 2 hits here on LAC. And of course, it recovers immediately.
I'm seeing in my option scanner here, I'm seeing some gold sweeps and GDX, GOLD. That
29
coincides with the market coming in, I guess. Snow, Cleveland Cliffs, and news. So some of the basic materials that we talk about. I'm just kind of watching the flow. I'm not actually taking trades off these. I'm just kind of watching and seeing if I can discern any patterns from what's going on here. ATER near highs now.
Yeah, X had a huge move out the open there. It had about 5%, 4% right out the gates there. Now it's pulling back on the 5-minute VWAP. And of course, LAC would catch a huge bid right at the level that I sold. There's a huge bidder there, about 4,500 shares that went in there at the 27 mark. We'll see if it starts pushing through the 60s again. Does look like it's finding some bottoming action, but
ATER through that 590 spot that they were stopping at. I think this goes higher. Day high here at 594. God, feels like I'm chasing right here, though, if I take this. What does Zunaid like to say? YOLO. All right, trying this very tight. Trying this very tight. Entry 593. Let's see if we can keep pushing here. Don't pull out. There we go. Let's go through 6. Let's go through 6, baby. Come on. You know you want to go through 6. You know you want to go through 6.
Beautiful.
6 down. There we go. We'll take that. We'll wait for it to set up again. All right.
Nice call. Nice call. Nice play there.
2 winners to start off the day. Although
Way to go, man.
I might look stupid by the end of the day because I scalped LEXX for like 20 some cents and it's running up to its next spot. It's run up to 5. I think what do we got here as the high? 535. And this is just low float, huge volume. We'll see if I made the right choice. ATER continues to go.
What Lex? Do you have a level on it after that? Sorry. Oh, now it's shoot. There's 614.
Ryan, you're always chasing. Not true. I'm trying to hit high of day breaks, although this one did feels like a chase. Who doesn't love the chase? I tell you what, man, it's hard to say no to the chase, especially when you have a stock that you think is going to keep moving higher.
You can see here on the right, I try to get my Nvidia fills to be at take profit at 223.35. Missed it by freaking 10 cents. And now I might just get stopped out here. Dude, that is so...
SPY keeps dropping there. We'll see if we get a bounce there.
The thing about SPY dropping is that this should help us determine relative strength in some of these other plays.
Well, I'll tell you where it is. I'll tell you one of them. Nike, 70-cent move from the options call out that we had. It was way too out in September, so I didn't personally take it. Stupid me. Not the best. Not the best day for me.
Scott, I was making a joke about chasing girls, Ryan. LOL, didn't even
see. That's how you know we're degenerate traders.
That's how you know I'm a trader and a dork. That's funny. That's real funny.
All right, guys.
Let me see if I can find that for you. Hang on, Tremo.
All right, taking some CCL there, guys. I saw 1,700 shares there go through at 1974. The big order going through there. Now another order stacked on top of that at the 76, 12,000 shares. So to me, that's a nice, what we're looking at, like almost 30,000 shares there. Someone picked up there at 75 at the VWAP. I'm looking for the cruise lines to take off here.
I just posted the option sweep that I saw on Barrick Gold. That was ticker GOLD. It was a 10-leg sweep, 1,200 contracts at 26 cents. That's the one I called when I said I see sweeps in gold. And then I saw another one in GDX. Let me pull that one for you. The GDX here it had call sweeps, but it had a put sweep right afterwards. So here, let me get you that. There were actually 2. These were much smaller. I'm not in these. I didn't take those. I was just kind of watching the flow.
All right, trying to get some money back here. Get at least back towards break even, if not into the green here in CCL. Looking for a push above 1985 to get towards the 20s.
ATER still keeps going. 618 is going to be your next spot on ATER. And then that should take us to 638. You should get 20 cents out of that. Might not all happen at the same time, though. This is extended here, too. So good volume on it, though.
All right, high of the day push here for CCL. Let's see if we get through the high of the day. That's 1988.
Flex all the way back down to 4. Man, that thing is, that's wild. This actually could be decent, though, right? If this curls and sets back up for that high of day break, this thing's crazy. And only like 5 million float, right? Yeah, 5.5 million float about.
All right, there's a nice push there, guys. Getting towards the 1991s, 93s.
ATER. High a day.
Man, ATER, I obviously sold too early. That's okay though. With the strategy of trying to keep risk low, I'm okay leaving some money on the table because I know I'm going to be able to hit one either later that same day or the next day. So,
all right, half off there at 96 there for Carnival Cruise. Looking for the breakout above 20s now for the rest here. There's a nice push into the 20s.
UEC curling up here. Let's check quadruple U. Let's see where we're at with that. Quadruple U also curling. Okay, so these look
there,
like coming
20
back here against the market too. Sorry, Mitch.
No. I just wanted to definitely get that. Now I'm back into the green, guys. So I'm okay. I'm feeling confident now. Just took a nice simple trade there on CCL. Didn't want to go too crazy on it. Just boom, boom in there. 77s out there, 94s and 20. I'll take it. Let's keep going.
Gavin saying pump seek. We don't pump here. We call out things that are moving. So often they're moving on volume. As far as your SEAC goes, just not enough volume. That does look like it's curling a little bit here on the chart, but it's going to need some more volume. If it takes out 125 on volume, you may have a trade on your hands. So keep an eye out for that. Not in it right now. Would not buy it here until volume shows up.
All right, all the cruise lines moving on up there, RCL, CCL. I got the trade on CCL there, but you can watch all of them moving on up now. We watched this looking in the pre-market to see if the cruises were going to continue. A lot of that was going to be based also on the airlines continuing. Look at American Airlines, strongest day yesterday in a long time, about almost 10% today, pushing up also AAL. And if you wanted to take a look at something a little bit slower moving, you look at Jets. Jets catching the bid there at the VWAP, and this is an ETF on the airlines.
Seeing call sweeps on PBR, Petrobras.
Here's
when I first saw that, I was like, are they really sweeping Pabst Blue Ribbon beer? What the hell's going on?
Quick, here's VERU at 1370. As you can see, I've got 300 shares, taking a $200 loss right here because of the gap down, not the gap down, excuse me, the halt down. So there's my loss on that for the day on TradeStation. I am down $450. You can see that right there. Well, let's see if we can find a way to get that back. I am looking to buy Nvidia off of this 220 bounce here if I can get it. Currently trading at 221, but an ugly day to start off. Hopefully
LAC stopped me out literally, guys. I think on the low tick of the day. It's already back up there. I'm thinking about taking another shot, but I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm looking at MP now to see if it comes back up roaring through the VWAP, but definitely that's always a lovely one when you get stopped out of it really near the low of the day there.
Trevor asking, is this a good time to buy Lex? Well, looking at the chart, we are curling here. I need to see some volume expand in order for this to make a move back up. We've got the VWAP at 418. I would say that here, let me put this up on the screen. I would say that here, if we're able to clear out 418 on good volume here, maybe this is a long. Please understand that what we're talking about is a very, very short-term trade. I mean, earlier today, I scalped 1,000 shares of this, right? So we're talking about getting in and getting out based on our signal here. 410, you can clearly see there's a spot here. They're clearing it out. There's the pop. So now we're at 415 through 418. You might have another run here. That is the VWAP. It also might get rejected there. So be careful there. Okay, so we're through 418. Let's see what it does here. So it's pushing here. See, it's trying to get going over that VWAP, but we're still having a battle right at this 418 mark. That's what this little pink dot is. That symbolizes the midline here of the VWAP study in cost. So trying to get going, decent bid there. Looks like this is going to push higher. We'll see. We will see. The thing about these trades is that things can change in a hurry, right? There's no catalyst here. There's no like guaranteed, this is going to go higher here. We're just trying to read the tape. We're trying to read the volume flow and read the chart here. I do like that the volume is expanding here. You can see these volume sticks are getting higher and higher. This is pushing back up here pretty violently. This was a great buy from that 410 entry. Coming back in here now. You can see how much this moves. Be very careful if you play this. This is one of the. I normally scalp 2,000 share lots. I reduce the size on this one because it's thin and it moves around quite a bit. So we'll see if this actually sets up here again. We're getting another spot here. I want this to set up.
SPY trying to bounce
long FCX,
441.
FCX copper. So looking to take this I just got in there. Looking for the copper to come back on up. If you take a look here at the 5-minute chart, you're going to see a nicer chart holding that 90 EMA pullback. We want to see 49.80s hold here, get back up through the VWAP 50.
Uh-oh, we're starting to get it now. Yap is asking, is it a good time to buy BABA shares? Okay, let's find out. We are going to consult stock. Magic 8 Ball, is it a good time to buy BABA shares? Let's see. Come on. Sorry, I'm like dumb with this thing. What does that say? That says my reply is no. The 8 Ball is telling us no. It's not the time for BABA yet. Take that for what you will. How do I get myself up full screen? Okay.
Looking for an ad maybe here at 50 here, guys. We'll see if FCX can hit 50.
You've got some VERU calls coming in. You've got the 17.5 expiring today, approximately $15,000 worth. I'm going to take a crack at it here. I got filled at 27 cents. Again, these are just strictly lottos. See if we can get through the previous close and then at least get it to VWAP, and we should have some traction there. I did go ahead and get filled on my Nvidia at 220.18. So looking for this to come on down and bounce up as well.
Just hit my ad there. 98s.
ATER seeing some options come in for next week, $6.50 calls.
Yogi Bull, what did I just walk into? Well, we got asked what if the stock is going to be good in the future. The only way I know how to predict that is to use the Magic 8 Ball. Entertainment purposes only, baby.
The Magic 8 Ball.
ATER looks like it stopped right around what is that? 620. Let me pull it up. 629. It looks like here. Consolidating here. I actually really like this for a play higher. I would love for it to consolidate between 6 and 620. Let me see if I got that. 629. Yeah, we had Prince up there at 629. So I'd love to see some consolidation here. Maybe we curl and take that high back out. ATER. Not in it, but we will watch to see if it sets up.
Guys, hourly candle turning red now, guys. Just be careful there. It is 10 o'clock. We could see a reversal to the upside, but of course, SPY has just been dropping here out the gates. It went from a green candle, big green candle, and now to a red candle on the hourly.
You know, one of the things that the happy hour crew discussed last night with respect to today's trading session is that with the extended weekend here, with the 3-day weekend, you might have traders putting less risk on over that 3-day period. And as a result, anything that might have some short-term gains might get sold today. We'll see. Remember, also, I believe the 18th, Monday, is the tax deadline. So that might also play into this too. So just be careful today. Maybe don't take outsized positions.
All right, there's Nvidia trying to bounce off the 220s. We're up about $100 and so dollars. I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking to have this touch back VWAP, so my take profit is way up there at the 223 37s. My stop loss today is down there. I could very easily be pissed that I didn't take profits, but I'm looking for a bigger move. Don't forget, we got some calls in VERU as well, just as Lottos. We can see how that acts up. And the Twitter board meeting should be kicking off here.
Uh-oh.
Twitter moving up.
Twitter.
The Twitter. LEXX, good call. Scott, that is new highs now, LEXX. I'm not in this, but man, this thing sure looks strong. Again, thin moves around really quickly. It's tough. It's tough to play these. I'll be honest. The first thing I think you should do is reduce your size a little bit. Do not put yourself in a position where all of a sudden you're staring at a loss that makes you sick to your stomach. Reduce your position. Take your gains when you have them. You can see that this stock is going back and forth already. As long as that volume holds up, we should be in good shape. And I mean, if we take out 535, all bets are off. I saw a question here earlier I wanted to answer. Joe Trader, does the Magic 8 Ball charge per answer? No. The Magic 8 Ball works on stream likes. The more likes you give our stream, the better the Magic 8 Ball is going to perform. Mitch knows. He'll tell you.
Look at Ryan on point today. We got to do something about that. I say, you know what?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
If you're jamming to something, we can't hear it.
Yeah, I can't hear a damn thing. I just see you.
I'm jamming by myself, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. But by the way, you've got
Can't go wrong with
Nike.
it.
Let me know if anyone was smarter than I was and played Nike, because what a move off of VWAP when we called out those option sweeps coming in. Just a marvelous, what is that? Almost a 2-point move, I believe that is. Just beautiful. I completely missed that one. As now you've got VERU trying to break the previous close. It's sneaked above it. And now you've got Twitter coming up at VWAP. Here we go.
Uh-oh. The
Twitter coming up
Twitter.
at VWAP at 48.
Twitter curling.
Spy trying to hit VWAP. Nvidia saying, screw you. I'm going to hang down low in the mud.
Trying to see if Copper
see what
wants
my
to break
calls
out
are
above
on.
50. Or FCX. Daniel says Ford looking really good here. You guys are a mess. Yeah, I know. Come on. Do you know
We're
who
a
you're
mess.
talking to? We're always a mess, bro. I'm a mess.
One thing real quick. Let's just talk about this here real fast. Let me pull it up on my screen. All right. Let's talk about Lex again. We were just talking about this a second ago, making new highs. And one of the things I said is reduce your size and be careful because this thing is volatile and moving all over the place. In the same 1 minute candle, we pulled from the high of day, which was 474. What's the low of this candle? 408. And we're currently at 410. So this is, and you can see it's curling and trying to trade back up here. This is exactly why you want to be careful, though. When stocks move this quick, if you make mistakes, your losses can be amplified. Okay, so be very, very careful here. This is curling. Let's wait for it to set up. VWAP here, we got at 425. Again, same trade plan can hold. If we trade up through 425 on volume, maybe you can scalp this, but please be careful. Do not buy it at the top and then sell it at the bottom. That's going to be a recipe for disaster.
Nvidia trying to come back from the debt. It was about how many cents? What's the low of this candle here? The low of this candle is 219.45. My stop loss was 219.38. So when I got saved by 7 cents, as now we are back in the green. If you are looking at the same trade that I'm personally in, do what you got to do as you're up in the green here. Spy's trying to test VWAP. Really, really need Spy to go ahead and close above VWAP and above the 443.31.
Tyson Foods new highs here. This is an interesting one. I like this for a run at 100.
The Tyson Food. We talked about that one on our Trade Ideas widget.
Yes, we
Ryan,
did.
we both did. We talked about that one for a swing trade, and we've been talking about that one since 90. It's already up about 5.4% from that. Looking to take out 100 on the long run, I think. It has that movement. We'll see if it can get on up there towards 100.
Yeah, I mean, look at this daily chart here, right? We already actually traded above 100 briefly. We pulled back here. I like it to try and take this out. We had a previous triple top at 94.25. We've already taken that out twice now. Let's see if we can actually trade back up here through 100. This is not like a ridiculously fast mover. So if you're going to look for this play via the options market, which is how I would play this, I'd be looking at the June or the July contracts. June contracts 100, 235 ask. That's really not that bad. July 290. So pretty decent pricing and also some pretty decent open interest in those strikes as well.
All right, Benson Hill moving on up. If you want a cheaper name, that's moving on up. I do like that one for a swing trade. I don't think I'm going to take it right now because I need to see a pullback, but it doesn't look too bad. All
right, NVIDIA, I got stopped out. You've got Twitter getting rejected off of VWAP. So if you like this short, that was a nice area to get short at. And you've also got ATER bouncing off of the VWAP at the moment. Got to continue higher if it's going to break that 630 high a day.
SPX testing here. It could crack.
Watching the Twitter feed for any news here. I did see some call activity in there. Interesting.
All right, we're getting a test down here in FCX. It might stop me out right now. Didn't
another pullback here on the SPY. Be careful.
There's a crack of 70s. Need to see it recover immediately to 70s. If not, going to go ahead and get on out here. 32,000 shares going through there at 49.79 there, guys, on FCX in one order.
SPY low a day. NVIDIA low a day. ATER still hanging out above VWAP.
Rocking. Apple big pull here.
Nice recovery of 70 there on FCX. Looks like, to me, it looks like someone stepped up to the plate at 79, and it tested them down there towards the 70.
Nasty market pull here, folks.
Market. Yeah, market looks horrible on the hourly, guys.
Yeah, it does.
The hourly chart is what I'm watching. I want to see if that candle can turn green. And we got that candle to open up at 10 o'clock. And now you did go up for a little bit there to the VWAP, but you rejected it.
One of my favorite Twitter accounts tweeted that Twitter is the new Dogecoin.
That's pretty funny. That's really funny.
Yeah,
Hey.
I'm telling you. You know what? I don't have a problem promoting this account. This is a parody account. It is literally one of my favorite accounts. Let me post that tweet here in the chat. Parikh Patel, CFA. It's just one of my favorite Twitter follows.
There you go.
What was I about to say? ATR trying to go above 620 here. Held
Yep.
that VWAP really, really well.
Yep, 618 is that spot. Remember. Andrew says, I knew it was Parikh. That's because you know how good that account is. You know how good that account is. Don't forget, high a day on ATER 629. Snap of that. We might actually pop above that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I want to add some more shares here on that break, but I'm gonna follow your lead if you see a good level there, because I love the way that you play these breakouts. I mean, that's just incredible.
Well, it's plate licking trades, right? We're going for small gains, and the goal is to stack them on top of each other for a bigger gain. There's opportunity to play for bigger swings here, but on stocks that are volatile and moving around like this, might as well control the risk as best we can, and we do that by timing our entries and exits as best we can based on the volume flow. This pullback here is actually really good for ATR too. We consolidate in the zone. It'd be better for a pop above if we end up getting there.
If SPY gets to this 440.17 area, I'm going to send an alert. I will buy some calls there. So I'm going to wait for it to come down about another 50
SPY
cents.
dropping really fast there on the 5-minute, guys. You just saw it move from 442 to 440. There might be somebody talking, so just be careful out there. That seems to me like more of a catalyst-related drive down. I'm going to try to look to see if I can see if there's any Fed speaking or anything like that.
That 445 level. That's on me. I missed that on SPY.
Trying to see if there's
avoid
anything
some
else. Huge support weekly right now. It's hitting into 440.64.
TRVI pops to the highs here.
VERU. Yeah, I mean, there's VERU trying to make something happen as it goes above the previous close now. So it's green for the day.
TRVI. This was on, this was, what day was this? Thursday of last week, TRVI monster volume day. And we're actually above those levels now here. That break above that level was 321. We're right above that level. TRVI, this is an interesting one. Consolidated for 4 days before popping above that intraday high. Interesting. Jessica, in TRVI, you are probably having a good day then. This is a nice little pop here, nice little breakout. ATER still consolidating. LEXX hanging out around 4. We need that to set up. Man, if it loses that, we might actually pull back 360. So just be careful on that one. Big put sweep on NVEX. A lot going on.
How do people trade the SPY? Well, I think a lot of people trade it through, I don't want to say a lot. I personally trade it through options. It looks like you've got the $50 calls on Twitter coming in for next week. Let's see how Twitter is behaving here. Twitter rejected off of that VWAP, hasn't quite crossed over whatsoever. VERU trying to stay above the previous close. Biggest thing, you got to get above this VWAP. You get above this VWAP and we could get rolling again. Waiting for the SPY to come down to the 440s, and I could be interested in that one. Let's see what Nike is doing. Is it going to make me have more pain? Yep. As it approaches 132. Cool. Appreciate you. Got in the wrong stocks today. Twitter under VWAP. Yeah, I rejected VWAP. We talked about that, how it approached VWAP, and that's your best risk reward if you want to go short. SPY did the same exact thing, as you can see right over here, before it just flushed all the way down to new lows. Now it's trying to bounce off of the 440.50. I have an alert to buy some calls at 440 itself, so I may not even get a chance to do so. You have ATER coming down to VWAP. Might flush here. So if you're in that position, keep an eye on it.
I got VWAP of 593 on ATER.
Yep. I went ahead and got some shares off of that VWAP. My stop loss is going to be 585 here on Thinkorswim.
Jay saying going to be very hard for those high PE growth names to catch a bid, i.e. Kathy names with bonds continuing to leak. Totally agree. Jay, this is actually one of the reasons why we're doing so much scalping, is because I'm not sure they're going to be able to catch a bid and have any type of multi-day move conducive to swing trading. These are the names I love trading, high PE growth names. They've been very, very good, but you're right. The environment right now, not great for those. Be careful if you end up trading those. Kind of already seeing that on Nvidia this morning.
Coinbase trying to get over that 150 hump. And Tesla is just below the 990 as it broke down. VERU now trying to break that VWAP. It's about 20, 30 cents away. And Nvidia, boy, I was dead wrong about Nvidia. And
479 is the VWAP on VERU. Also 1465 looks to be the level that we really need to take out for this to move higher. Had 1474 had some big volume prints on it earlier. Huge sweep in VERU. I'm going to put it in the chat here. Charlie just called this out on the squawk. Just heard it in my ear.
Is it
Thursday,
the
$15 call sweep. Yep.
Yeah.
The number of contracts is not all that huge, but the sweep is a big number. That 30 sweep is a good number there.
Yeah, they've got about $50,000 worth
and
there.
And look what happened. Just took out VWAP. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. You're perfectly fine. Those calls that we bought, I mean, they're still alive here. Went ahead and got filled 80 cents on those same things that Charlie went ahead and called out. So I'm in at 80 cents on the $15 calls on VERU, looking for this VWAP to go ahead and get taken out. Need the VWAP to be on.
Andy Y, the option alert I just posted, is on VERU. VERU Inc., ticker VERU, Victor Echo Romeo Uniform.
All right, on ATER, as it's below VWAP, I'm going to go ahead and stop myself out here. Got stopped out. I'm out of VERU now as it broke below VWAP. Excuse me, I'm out of ATER. My apologies. As it broke below VWAP, I am in the VERU calls that Charlie went ahead and called out himself. Why is Nike so hot? We had some call options coming in on Nike that we called at around 129.50s, and the stock went up all the way to about 132s, if you will. And Twitter is just coming right back. Well, let's take a look at Twitter here for a second.
While you're taking a look at that, let me answer Nick's question
What's
here
up?
real quick, because this is a good one, and we talk a lot about options all the time, so might as well just clarify. This is a great question, Nick.
Please.
So when people buy options or buy stock, it affects the price the same. So one of the things that you'll see is option sweeps come into a name, and oftentimes you'll see the stock price pop. And what happens there is that people are buying into a levered trading vehicle. And when that is above normal, other traders will say, hey, this is a bullish indication. And sometimes just that can actually cause traders to buy, can also cause algorithms to buy. There's a lot of automated trading that looks at option sweeps on particular names and then places trades based on those options. So when you see a huge amount of options coming into a name, that's generally a huge amount of calls. That's generally a sign that someone's looking at that. If you compare that then to the open interest, and the open interest is very small, and then all of a sudden there's a lot of activity, that tells you that there's new eyeballs on that name. And oftentimes that's enough to get the attention of traders. So you can actually capitalize on that if you're day trading. If you recognize these calls early, you can buy, take advantage of that pop sell. It can be just a couple of seconds on trade there, but those profits can add up. So that's one of the reasons why we're calling that.
VERU just can't seem to get over VWAP. Really needs to do so. Let's see what the Qs are doing here. You've got the Qs trying to bounce. Still plenty, about a couple of points away from the VWAP area there.
SPY holding that 40, 40, 64 weekly level really well. I made a disaster with the orange juice, so that's why I've been out for a little bit.
You made a disaster.
Drop it?
Well, I was coming up the stairs, and let's just say I didn't make it up all the way.
My boy heard the VERU sweep, wanted to get in, and then dropped all the oranges.
I was like, no, wait for me. Oh, now I got it cleaned up.
I wish you had webcams in your house, because that's something I'd pay to watch. There's a 10-minute candle on VERU, about 1:20 left, trying to close above VWAP. Do it. Close above 15 for all of us.
Peter, the sweep is buying at any cost. A sweep is a large order that is broken down into smaller orders. The command from the trader is just fill me. Get as many contracts as you can at this price. Just do whatever you need to do to get it. Those orders will often get broken up and then filled. That's what a sweep is. So it doesn't necessarily have to be any cost. Often there's a limit to that cost that the sweep is being executed at.
Yeah, the way that I look at sweeps is you going to your neighbor's door to door and saying, hey, I need sugar. I don't care how much you charge me. I want it now. And then you go to multiple neighbors, aka you go to multiple brokers to get filled on your options contract, which is why it is a sweep, if you will. 30 seconds left on this 10-minute candle as Nvidia takes another dip at low of day. And VERU is the main stock that I'm kind of hanging out in right now.
Don't worry, I'm just hanging out in FCX here, but it just looks like it wants to break out, but hasn't gotten the volume needed to really push it.
Yeah, Jay, you're almost right in my opinion. It's not taking out all the offers, but it's going to multiple exchanges to get the amount of contracts you want. All right, VERU with that 10-minute close could not get above 15. Got above the 1450, which is a decent sign. It got above the previous close, which is a decent sign as well, by the way.
All right, let's point that sector is doing good right now. If you only pay attention from the open, the only thing up right now is consumer defensives and energy. Everything else is red from the open. And I think that's an important thing to note there. If we take a look at what is down the most, technology. Wouldn't you know it? Yesterday we got a technology rally. Today we get a technology fade. It's just how it's been lately. It could be just the volatility in these names, but definitely you're seeing that pullback today. Consumer cyclicals pulling back a little bit today. We'll see what happens there. There are some sectors that are up in there, some industries that are up there, so it's not like it's all down. We'll see what happens on that. That CHH is looking interesting for me for a swing trade, but I need to pull back. It's already pushed up there towards 142. Needs to fill the gap there towards 140.
VERU with the pop above 15, baby. Those calls that we got at 80 cents are now going for about $1.20. I'm going to go ahead and scale out half my size here. Nice little trade there on VERU. Boy, we have sucked this morning, but that trade's going to make up for a good amount of it. Now you've got 130 being printed on VERU. Those calls are up about 80%. So if you're not scaling out, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but you got to scale out here. At least that's what I'm going to go ahead and do here is you get a pop on VERU. We had a
Nice
halt
clawback,
challenge.
Zunaid.
Thank
Nice
you.
clawback.
Thank you.
Way to
Thank
not way
you.
to not lose the emotional battle and then come back and slap the winner. That's how it's done, baby.
VERU, those calls are now going for about 130%. Not only that, we could possibly be looking at a halt up here on VERU as it's trading at 1634. And there's the mother freaking halt as we hit high a day.
Great
There
call,
you go,
Zunaid.
guys. There you go. Shamnuni talking about target. Yeah, that does look like it's trying to break on out there. There's like an hour consolidation up there towards the 235.65 level.
1678, your next level here on VERU of importance. 1678.
Halt to the upside.
Above that could get wild.
Ding, 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 ding.
It's already pretty wild, frankly, I guess. 1678, VERU.
Smash up that like, guys. We got over 900 people here. We should break some records. We should do 600 likes today. So let's go ahead. Let's see what we can do. Pre-market prep did 658. So if we don't beat that, I might not come back on Monday, guys. Come on. Support us.
We can
Let's go.
We can beat pre-market prep. Come on.
We gotta beat pre-market prep. That's my
on.
competition, guys. So we gotta make live trading with Benzinga the best show on Benzinga. Right now, I have to give it up to pre-market prep. They've been killing it for years, and we need to go ahead and catch on up.
Dude, I just panicked for a second because I was looking to answer Tom's question. No, not Tom's. Where is it? Thomas. He goes, "Hey, did you go ahead and sell all your VERU calls?" And I wanted to go ahead and look at my broker and see how many calls I still had left. And I look over, and I have a column that says percent P&L unrealized, so I know how much I'm up or down. And it said 3% on VERU calls, and I almost panicked, but I realized it's because it's halted.
Yeah.
So my options are priced at 0 at the moment. But to answer your question, Thomas, as I'm now over my heart pain, no, I still have about a quarter size left. Why do I have a quarter size left? Because if this I believe, listen, I could be wrong. I've been a disaster on Nvidia. I've admitted it, but thankfully we made up for it on VERU. I believe we could possibly go ahead and get a test of the 1750s. You can see the levels that I've got here. 1710 is the next one for me. And then, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a 17 touch to see if we can go ahead and get that. No clue if we're going to get it or not, but you can see we're already above the previous level that I have here of the 1575. Now, obviously, we're at 1634. Let's see what that after hours high was yesterday. Not quite above that. 1678. So to me, I would not be surprised if we went ahead and touched this and tapped the 17 and see if we can break that puppy through. But what a beautiful play, as I have personally been sucking. I missed the Nike trade, but this is
Thoughty by nature. Thanks. 100% on the VERU calls. Awesome job, Thoughty by nature.
Great
awesome
job.
handle too. You got me singing hip hop hooray in my head there.
Well, I'll tell you, Johnny beat that and said, "I'll do the 130."
Hey, congratulations. Hey, this is, and
Your
again,
only
keep in mind,
competition is yourself, folks. Your only competition is yourself. Don't let Mitch wrangle you into a downward spiral of doom.
Hey, well, that's the VERU life. I can't blame you for it. And Chermo saying that he didn't get his sell order to go through there before the halt. One thing that I'll tell you guys is this is a good example right here, right? And so when a stock is at a halt, what I love to do is if you're in overall like equity, I'll just put out the order at a pop level to see if we get that pop right at the open of the halt. You get filled, and then you see the stock pull back. I think you can do the same here for options. I'm not going to say that you do that, but maybe Zunaid and Ryan know a little bit more. Do you ever put out just like, let's say, I don't know, the contract was trading at, let's say 60 cents before the halt. Would you put out maybe like 90 cents or $1 to see if you could just get that quick pop fill?
Look, I'll do it right now. I got an order out on VERU to go ahead and sell one contract just to test this thing out. I got it sold at 180 is what I have on VERU. So we'll see if I even get filled. I think the last thing I saw was oh man, I can't remember what the last
price.
Yeah, I can't remember, but we'll see
it goes
what
fast.
it opens up at.
That's true.
I know it's like 135. I just don't know if I ever saw 150s or if I'm making it up. But regardless, actually, I lied. The last trade I see here on E-Trade is 185. So if that's accurate information, 185 was your last trade. Keep in mind, we got these calls at about 80 cents. So we are well above the 100% gains, if you will. And on here, let me show. we show losses. So let me go ahead and take this screenshot.
LEXX, I know we talked about that real quick. Huge bidder at 409, and it's real. If that holds up, this might actually lift off from that. No guarantees, though. Be careful. Yeah, they're eating it for sure.
That is
and
not a
VERU
bad
just
day.
opened up, went ahead and tapped 17, just like I said it would. Now those calls are going for about 185 on the bid, $2 on the ask. And I just got in on my 185, got filled there. Now VERU trying to trade above 17.
You got your one contract filled?
Go. Yeah, I did go and get that one contract filled.
You
I'm
see?
still waiting for a break of that. I'm gonna go ahead and sell some equity here. Oh, come on.
That's what I kind of wanted to see is a little pop
Break
fill.
to-
I like those pop fills.
$17 break. Went ahead and got filled on my equity side on TradeStation. Excuse me, on Thinkorswim. Now those calls are going for about 220 on the bid, 250 on the ask. Things are getting nutty. Do we see a second halt up? I do not know, but what a great way to start the day before Good Friday, I guess.
Johnny, 555 gaining minutes. This is one of the reasons why it's so great to play these trades. You can really make a lot of money in a short amount of time. You can be done for the day by lunchtime.
By the way,
Both ways, guys. Be careful though.
Steak for Good Friday.
Real quick,
Definitely.
the $17.5 calls that I got for 25 cents. I'm gonna go ahead and close them out here for $1. 3/4 size gone here at $1. So that's a 400% gainer from this morning. Out at $1 as VERU is trying to fight the 1650 as support. We got all the way to 1750. Great
trade.
Thank you.
Great trade.
Boom. There you guys have it. And like always, guys, these are a little bit more advanced trades than a beginner out there. So if you're a beginner and you're watching these, understand that Zunaid has not been doing this for 1 week. So just to kind of put that out there. I just want to make sure that there's no new traders being like, oh, well, I can do that too.
Fact, here, I'll do this. Let me go ahead. Hang on one sec. I will go ahead and take a screenshot.
And also, don't forget, Zunaid started off with some losses here. So
yep, that's exactly what I'm about to share.
What Zunaid has done is actually really impressive. He's able to compartmentalize the loss, move on, and then make it back so that it's not really a big deal. That's not easy to do. Masterclass job here.
Well, so here it is, right? So these are all the calls that I've had from this week, today, whatever the case may be. And you can see, I told you guys, I have on E-Trade a P&L unrealized. And you can see, look, we took the NVIDIA Lottos. I told you, Lottos to me is, hey, I'm looking to get about a 75 to 100% gainer to scale out, or I'm okay with it going to zero. So, anything I talk about on stream, I absolutely take. And you can see these losses that I have on all the plays. And this one I did go and scale out, so it's not a true loss. But all three of these, absolute L's for me on the Lotto side of things. So absolutely have a game plan. I know what I want to get into. I know what my risk is, and I'm comfortable with it. And that's what it's about, right? So keep in mind, don't let the fact that if you miss this VERU trade, don't be like, oh, I'm going to grab the next one because he called that other one, which means he's going to call this one. It's going to be great. No, look at the ugly trades here that I have. I have three 100% losers on the Lottos that I've played. And I showed you my losses on TradeStation where I was down about $500 or so. So do not try to chase just because you missed this one. And then also because you banked on this one, don't try to compound it and be like, oh, since I made $1,000 on this one, I'm going to put $1,000 on a Lotto for the next call in the next 30 minutes or next week or whatever. Do not do that. Come back and invest exactly what you had before and try to get those gains compounded. As VERU now tries to reject Alpha 17. But yeah, definitely hit the like, y'all. Appreciate it.
Right? Hit the like, guys. Zunaid bringing the fire. The fire in the hole.
I love it.
Appreciate it.
There you guys have it. We'll see what happens there.
But hey, we got to give props to Charlie. Because he is the one who went ahead and called out the $15.5. Yeah, the $15 calls that came in on VERU at 80 cents. That's why I was able to grab it, because Ryan has him on. And, now those calls are trading for 220 on the bid. So I'm not good at math, but I believe it went all the way up to $3. So that's a 200% gainer. And again, here's the thing that I'll say, right? When Charlie calls something out on the squawk, I don't get into the position, but he pretty much lets us know, hey, take a look at this chart. here is what is happening. So I take a look at the chart and I say, cool, it's above the previous close. My risk off is going to be 14 bucks. I'm going to go ahead and YOLO some calls here with the size that I'm okay losing. And thankfully it worked out. Then I was able to get into some equity on Thinkorswim. So Squawk is just so underrated when it comes to everything. What's up?
Adding to FCX here, looking for the big breakout above 50 here, guys. Just took the other ad here. Been watching this balance on out. There's been a big trader trading in the 80s and 90s. Another big order going through there at 87, 30,000 shares at 800. So we'll see what happens here. Now we really wanted to hold the 49.80 pullback and get through the 50.
Do I use spreads? No, I go straight directional. I go buy, calls, puts, whatever the case may be. That's all I do. And you've got, by the way, SPY did not want to give me a chance to buy my calls at the 440 level as it bounced off of 440.50. I missed it by about 50 cents. Yeah, I mean, look, here's my Thinkorswim, I guess. Probably should have this, but that's whatever. You can see, look, I had VERU equity here, went ahead and scaled out as I told you guys I would, and you can see the profit there on the day for me is about a couple grand. Didn't mean to show this, but I guess when I was sharing my screenshot, that's what it was. And I'll go ahead and share my here. I'll share my loss on TradeStation as well. That way you guys can see that it's not all gravy. And there's my $700 loss, $600 loss on TradeStation. Obviously, E-Trade is green because of the lottos that we played, and that's where I play my options. So yeah, risk management. Got to stay in the game to play once again.
Risk management is what keeps you in this game.
100%. 100%. I'll give you
LEXX popping now.
LEXX. I'll put it up for you.
I'm not in it, but I don't think it's done for the day. We had a huge bidder coming in too below this, so there's definitely a buyer here.
Yeah, it's above the VWAP here on as well as the 426 level. A good example, Ryan, of like you want to have money to stay in the market is during COVID, which was my first crash that I ever actually was in the game for. I absolutely got shattered. I shared a screenshot of where I lost like 20 grand or whatever. And I didn't have the capital to ride the bull run back up. I had to like slowly build my account back up. So you're absolutely right. You want to have the capital to stay in the game and go through it that way.
Especially when you're new, the first step to being a profitable trader is not being profitable. It's survival. It's survival of the fittest at first. That's what this game is going to be at first. And a lot of traders can't even get through that part. So what I would say is focus on that first. Then you focus on being tiny bit profitable. And then you work your way to being big profitable. It's the way it works, guys. Don't try to think that you're just going to go from, oh, I'm not a trader to I'm making $1 million.
No, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. You got to have some skills.
With a pop. LEX with a pop about the hit the 440s. And are we focusing on Twitter? We played Twitter a little bit.
We watched it.
Yeah, and you've got Twitter holding support at 46.50 as LEX tries to pop through 440s. SPY above 441. Matter of fact, let me take a look at Twitter. I'm still in VERU, by the way. I've got 200 shares on the equity side. And I think I've got 2 contracts left. I got 1 contract left now on VERU, the $15 calls. I'm going to let that ride in case we get a massive crazy run to the 20s later in the day. My stop loss on VERU for the couple hundred shares that I do have is going to be a break of 15. I'm going to go ahead and call it about 14.75. I am out.
All right, FCX working for us. We're looking for a move up there towards 50.26. That would be the first profit, and then we'll look for the 38 breakout. Been in this one for now, I think like, let's see when I got in. I've been in this one now for, I think close to an hour now. No, about 35 minutes.
Beach Bum saying the key, in my humble opinion, is to learn how to be consistently profitable. That is correct. That is the key. That's why some of these trades that are only 100, 200 bucks profit are okay. Because if you can learn how to consistently do that, you can roll that forward and stack those gains on top of each other. As the balance builds, you can take larger positions that you have confidence or have done a lot of due diligence on. Beach Bum, you're exactly right. Consistency is what's really going to drive profits in this. And that's also why we're trying to talk so much about the process. We're not going to turn you guys into millionaires just by shouting out different tickers here. Hopefully, we can help you become better traders by outlining the process. That's the whole goal.
A really good call out there. Julie looks like she's been jumping on that X trade today. Really good day there for Steel. We talked about how is lagging the leader NUE today. Nice run up right out the gates. Didn't even give a tick to the downside, straight upwards today. So Julie, if you're able to capture that and you see us trading something else, you see us not talking about it, just give yourself on the pat on the back, because if you're able to nail that, I'd give you a pat on the back because I missed it, and I'm glad that someone out there was able to nail it.
What a nice bounce on LEXX, a stock that you guys were looking at. Got a bounce off of VWAP at the 420, now back at 445, looking to break above 450 there.
Gonna try some.
Good. Oh, you trying some LEXX?
Yep.
As you try that, I'm going to quickly point out, I got into some Twitter equity here. Low of day is going to be my stop loss. So breaking 46.50, I'm out.
Chexman says X may break out. We'll see what happens on that. It does look good there. Nice little push. How's the cliff doing too? Oh, that one looks interesting. It's right off VWAP there, guys. So one thing you could do is if you see X run, maybe you're looking for the breakout above on cliffs, above, let's say, 32.35 to really start moving. We'll see what happens on that one, but nice little symmetrical triangle on that cliff.
If Nvidia can get to the 215s, I'd be interested in some calls again. I haven't touched this one since I took an L on it last at the 220 level, and it's 4 points under. That's another reason that you take your L's, right? So I went ahead and had like $1.50 stop loss when I got into Nvidia at 220. Now it's at 216. I'd be looking at a 4-point loss, and I would have hopium for it to come back up. Because I didn't have my equity tied into Nvidia trying to have hopium, I was able to play VERU and make money on that. So that's another thing. You have opportunity costs that you're losing when you're bag holding as well. Set your stop losses. If you're wrong, get rid of your ego. You're fine. You'll be okay.
Size at 48 on LEXX. It's going to need to take that out. There was also size at 450, but if it takes that out, look out. This thing could pop.
And by the way, stepsister, don't think that I don't notice. You only come back and support me when I make money, all right? When I lose, you're not there to support me. Don't think I don't notice, gold digger. SPY rejected off of VWAP one more time. I'll pull it up here for you.
They just took it out. They yanked it right beneath, but that spot's been cleared out. Now they're yanking it back to VWAP here.
Oh, yeah, yank indeed.
Boyo about to break out, says Hertz. No wins because I woke up too late today. Naggers, and then just nag on, man.
Hey, you know what's great? The market will be here on Monday. Don't even stress about it. There's always another trade.
That's what matters the most, guys. I think if there's anything that you should always remember is that there's always going to be another opportunity. Always.
Twitter, by the way, the calls that we got into, not calls,
Boyle's
the equity.
breaking out.
Boyle is boiling.
That thing, that thing has been like I said, we call this the Widowmaker because this was in the 20s not long ago. It's 90 right now. Just unbelievable.
Definitely, we'll see what happens on Boyle. And Boyle is one of those that I think is a good lesson in long-term swing trades, especially when you feel like... So Boyle was a story that everybody looked at the natural gas trade when the Russian war started. But what did it do? It faded a little bit and then caught the rally. And so that's why going into more of a swing trade idea there, maybe a long-term option, could have got you around that first decline and then through this big push that could have got you a big win. I mean, we're not talking about a 90% move. We're talking about now, I think it's a 100% move up, but it's been a monster in Boyle.
We got to wait for LEXX to set up here again. Nasty.
Yeah, someone's asking about Nvidia and if those calls are a good option. I've been getting slaughtered on Nvidia left and right. I would plan on grabbing some calls in equity. By the way, you're getting some bullish into ZM. Let me go ahead and take a look at ZM real quick. ZM, just a dump here, but you've got someone buying the $100 calls, which is in the money, expiring, what is that, July 15th, approximately $2 million worth on this trade here. ZM, which is Zoom. Boy, I haven't played Zoom in a minute. Almost forgot what the ticker
me
was.
either. I was
like, what
dude,
the
that's
hell
a
is
blast
Zoom?
Fast, like last year.
Wasn't this 600?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zooming.
Oh, we got to zoom the hell out to go ahead and see this 600. Hang tight here. Oh, yeah, look at that beauty. I knew I wasn't crazy. Boom.
Is that a full 100% retrace?
Boom. But we're about
this.
to see what that retrace is. As Ryan skips out to get a call because he caused some trouble. I mean, look, they came back down 84%.
Oh my God.
84%.
Imagine if you were holding that bag the whole time.
Bro, if you had one share, you're down $500,000. One share, you're down $500,000. By the way, Twitter, let's get back focus here. Twitter, I told you guys I bought some equity with the low of day being the stop here. Twitter coming back to test VWAP. It's about 20, 30 cents away. I'm going to go ahead and scale some out here on Twitter because we did get the rejection from VWAP here. Possibly can get it here, which is why I'm going to start scaling out. Only got about 300 shares remaining on Twitter for me. Zoom, though, interested in it, but it's deep in the money, so I'm not quite the fanciest of it. But if Zoom gets to about, let's say here, the 110s, it could be a decent area for it to bounce. But for me, I'm not going to go ahead and play this on that. And you've got LEXX. I'm not in this one, but you get it right above. Folks, you're calling out ATER. Nice little run there. That helped. So this is where I got stopped out, and it just wicked me, and it came back up. But nice job there on ATER if you're still holding it. Obviously, I am still in VERU. Let's see what's popping over there. Held the VWAP, held the 1575 drawing that I have. So thank you for that. But again, my stop loss is going to be below 15. I've already got it out there on Thinkorswim. I'm really hoping for a run back up as ATER has a high a day hit on that. I am down on Zoom. I bought 125 and right up to, you bought 125. Right it up. Oh, you bought it at 125? I assume you mean you bought it at the $125 price and not 125 shares, hopefully.
All right, nice push there in ATER. I know you guys were looking for that breakout. It was a nice one there.
Sure was. Now it's trying to crack the 640s there, and let's see what's going on with the SPY as it was trying to test VWAP. Didn't quite get to it, just rejected right off the bat. And I know Nvidia, I'm looking to buy.
Hold up, man. I'm a little upset. I'm only seeing 372 likes, guys. There is more than 800, 900 people here. What are you guys doing? Hit the like button, guys. Are you going? You guys want us to go? You guys want us to get out of here? Come on. That's how you support us. That's how this is free. If not, this would be behind a paid wall. Ugh. Man, if I would have seen that at 10:30, I would have been upset. Come on, guys. Ugh. Guys want to keep us free?
Come
Hit the like.
Zunaid, what are your thoughts on TradeStation compared to TOS? To me, TradeStation is direct access, right? So look up what that means. Feel free to talk to those guys there at TradeStation. I like TradeStation, especially because I can do this visual point. If I want to look at the chart and I just want to make a trade off of here, I absolutely can. TOS, Thinkorswim, has great charting, and what Ryan absolutely loves is the trade ladder, which, by the way, TradeStation has as well. So for me, I like TradeStation better than I do Thinkorswim.
Out copper there, guys. A little loss there, about 15 cents there. I mean, it gave us a chance to get above 50. It looked like it wanted to go, but it's just hanging out there. Now I'm gonna get all ahead and get on out. 15-minute candle turned red. That's what turned me out, and I'm not gonna stick around there. I've been in this for like over an hour, and it's just like, okay, I'll just take my small loss here.
Is this a live event? Well, I just pulled up your tweets. I hope that answers your question. But yes, this is a live
peaches
event.
on apples. Peaches on apples.
Well, let's see. It screwed me in the peaches after it broke that 170. And again, look, I'm gonna be a broken record. I got out when it broke the 170 level. I think it was 169.80s and 169.40s that were my stopped out on this one, and now it's about a point or so below. If I was holding baggies here, I would not have had the money to play VERU right over here. As now VERU is popping up from that. Look at that beautiful crayon drawing, just holding as support. Didn't even need VWAP. It just needed my drawing there at 1575, and now it's bouncing. Again, I do believe this could be an all-day type runner, but I have scaled out so I can go ahead and cash in. And I'm holding about 200 shares and one contract remaining from the original size that I have. ATER can't break the 640 level, comes right back down to the 627s as VERU tries to crack the 1650s. Ryan sent us. Ryan who? Ryan Faloona?
Ryan sent us.
By the way, speaking of Ryan and I will be having a Twitter Spaces since today is Thursday. Let me go ahead and get you guys a link. So Twitter Spaces at 1 o'clock. We're going to talk about the stocks that we're watching, and you bet you're behind. We are going to talk about VERU as Ryan comes back into the scene, and we'd love your support, your emotes, and all that good stuff to show some love to Ryan and I at 1 p.m. The link is right there in the chat, so smack it, hit the reminder, and join us at 1 o'clock. Am I shorting GNS? Dude, I barely short. And if I do, that's not right. I barely short equities. I go ahead and short through puts. But GNS, no, I am not short GNS. But it did lose that $10 support. So that could be an area for you to keep an eye on. But it is a pretty movie stock here. It is a pretty spready stock. So keep an eye on your size and positioning. I'm not going to flirt with this one. But the one that I should have flirted with, Ryan, is Zoom, as it's now up about a point or so from those call options that came in. But I cannot believe that someone may have bought around 600 and held it.
Hopefully they're not still in, Zunaid. That's the big thing. Shout out to Lynn. Nice to see you folks here. I'm glad you stopped by. Hopefully you enjoy yourself.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Let's have some fun. Throw up some stocks you guys see moving out there. MRO is on a setup right now. If you guys want to take a look at some oil trades there, it's starting to set on up. MRO is sideways here, looking for a pop above 2660s. I'm probably just going to watch it, guys. I already got stopped out about 3 times today. Did make back a lot of that on CCL, but don't want to just keep pushing my luck today. But MRO does look interesting there. XOM also kind of sideways at the top of the range. Oxy, you can take a look at. That's coming back towards the VWAP. Got a big volume pop off this last 3-minute candle. So look to see if Oxy can break above 5960s. And we'll see what happens here. Consumer defensives now leading us, guys. So let's take a look at some consumer defensive stocks, see what's moving on out there. Pharmaceutical retailers, RAD today up 7%, but actually gone down since the open. That had earnings, so just be careful there. Farm products doing well right now. I'll take a look at capitalization, see what the big ones are doing. TSN, we talked about that one's continued the up
Look at that
trend there. Yeah, nice uptrend. Look at ADM also. This is one that we've been watching also. Look how this has just been in a nice uptrend. Archer Daniels leading here. And you guys can watch some other ones here. We'll see what happens. Benson Hills, the one that I called for maybe a swing trade towards the upside, back towards that $5. We'll see what happens there. All right, energy right behind that, and then utilities. So utilities not doing bad today. Let's see if there's any big players in utilities. PCYO is an interesting one. That's a water play there. PCG is one that I wanted to talk about really quickly. I'm kind of happy that this has turned around a little bit here. I couldn't play this company just because I feel so I'm like almost like against this company. You guys know this is the one that started the California wildfires that had that problem. They finally got through the lawyer situation. They paid up a fine, but I don't feel the fine was enough here, but we'll see what happens on PCG. It was running, and then today, hard turnaround there from the highs there of 1309.
Morgan Stanley call sweeps.
Morgan Stanley. All right. So we saw the financials earlier having a good day. So there you guys have. We'll see if they can start pushing on up.
They already had their earnings too. Interesting. This was here. I'll put it in the chat here. Copy. Morgan Stanley option. This is the May 20 $90 call sweep below the bid. Interestingly enough, so that might be what would that be if it was calls below? That'd be a bearish call.
Yeah,
not in this.
I'm kind of happy, Joe, we're not like this. We don't just stay on a topic all day long and just talk about Elon and Twitter all day long.
You guys would be bored if we did that, honestly.
I would be bored.
How much can we say?
Yeah, like I would be bored. I was already bored this morning looking at Twitter when I was like, yo, is there anybody else going to post something else than Twitter? And I was just seeing that all morning long. And we'll see what happens. All right. We got about 9 minutes left, guys. We're going to get on out of here at 11 today. So definitely smash the like. We got 492 likes. Can we get to 660? That's how much free market prep had this morning. And if we don't beat that, man, I'm going to be truly upset with us because we had over 900 people in here. We should have got the likes, guys. Smash up.
Don't upset Mitch.
Yeah,
You know better. Don't upset Mitch.
I'm a sensitive guys.
If you made money on the VERU trade, do us a favor. Take a screenshot of your gains. Obviously, any personal information you go ahead and crop out and black out and all that good stuff. And send them.
Definitely.
Send them over to us. Do you want to flood the show's email or should I just give them ours? Mitch?
Yours.
All right, cool. We're going to go ahead and flood the show's email. No, I'm kidding. I'll go ahead and look. There is my email address in the chat right there. Do us a favor. Send us those screenshots because we'd love to make a little bit of a trailer on what we do here at Live Trading. Clip out some stuff. Ryan had some great calls. He was the one who first called out VERU earlier this week and ATER as well. So whatever gains you made, please feel free to send them our way so we can put a little montage together. That would be awesome. And you could help us out. Doesn't cost you a single penny except your time for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Linda, for helping out and hitting that like button. And also to kind of add to Zunaid, it'd be really great to see him come from Twitter handles, guys, so that people out there can make sure that, yeah, this was a real person sending it to us, right? We know, and so that's what really can help us out also. And for that being said, add us on Twitter, guys. You guys see those handles up there at the top. Give Zunaid a follow, right? Let's get my man up there and tag him up on Twitter.
And this is why we scale out, by the way, on Twitter. Remember, we said, look, it's approaching VWAP. It may get rejected again, so we're going to scale out, and that's what we do. On the 40%, I was out. What's up?
Real quick on Twitter. So we have a news post just came through here. Twitter to hold an all-hands meeting with company employees at 5 p.m. Eastern time today to discuss this offer. So you take that for whatever it's worth. I do not know what that means, but that's obviously very interesting. Maybe they accept the offer. I don't know.
All right. Well,
that's crazy.
Damn. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some calls because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab the $50 calls expiring next week. Literally just gonna grab a couple of calls. Got filled at $1.69 in case. I mean, that's interesting. I don't know.
That's interesting.
What do you need to have a hands-on meeting about, right? What's the conversation? Hey, we're taking it, or hey, we're tired of this distraction and we're gonna have a poison pill. Is that what they're going to do? They're going to eat a poison pill? I don't really know, but I'm waiting for big money to pile onto this. And I'm not going to lie. I could try to hop on, but for now I'm going to take a little sprinkle of the action.
I'll tell you one thing. Elon did pull the car salesman move today.
What is that?
Zunaid, you kind of
car
salesman to YOLO this now.
I mean, think about it. What is that meeting for? What is the 5 o'clock meeting for?
I don't know, but it feels almost too obvious at this point.
And keep in mind that 5 is after market closes on the eastern side because Twitter's on Silicon Valley area or the east or the west coast. So it's 2 o'clock for them. They're waiting for the market to be closed on purpose. You see Twitter reacting. It came down to that news and now it's kind of climbing back up. You can see the volume ticked up there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I want to take a stab at this. I really
it's
$130. I'm like fighting with myself.
It's $130. You know what you could do, Ryan? If you want, here's something we could do.
Well, okay, so how are you playing this?
I just went ahead and bought calls. I just bought $50 calls expiring next week. I got filled at $1.39. Now it's trading at $1.51. So we woohoo for 8% profit there. Here's another way to play this. If we know the offer is at 55 or 54.20, you could try to play a spread. You could buy, like, let's say the $52 calls, then sell the 55. You could play your shenanigans that way. You could go out to May and do a spread. Now I'm talking myself into it as I speak, but I'm not gonna lie. This is interesting. Hey, are we doing anything at 5 o'clock? I gotta see what Spencer's got going on at 5 because that could be an interesting situation. Well, I guess we can't really listen into the call at 5, so there's no point of that.
All right,
as Spencer just tells us, it's 5 minutes. We'll close.
No, we're never closing. MRO guys.
You tell him that.
MRO guys here getting 60,000 shares there at 26.51 there. 3 orders of 20,000 shares. So we'll see if that can get MRO moving there up there towards 2670s. And for that being mentioned, take a look at that XOM to see if it catches the bid there and then gets on back there. We're going to go ahead up and start wrapping on up here. We got about 4 minutes left. Let's take an overall view of the SPY, where we're at on the SPY. It looks like we held that 440.64 level. We'll look to see if that can hold for the rest of the day. That's a weekly level that you guys can watch on the weekly chart. Where is that from? That's from the 25th of March. We'll see if that kind of breaks there. There's MRO now there towards 2660s. We'll see if that can continue to run. And if oil gets a big breakout, big player there for sure. It took 60,000 shares there at 51. That's a crazy. Can you imagine trading 60,000 shares there, Ryan?
No, I can't. As a matter of fact, I cannot imagine that.
I can't imagine 10,000 shares there, let alone 60,000 shares there. And it's all on the same exchange, same like price level. So it does look like someone stacked up in order there. We'll see what happens there. SPY is like kind of in this little chop zone between 440.450s and 440.64. We'll see if we get out of that range today. Nike having a good day today. I didn't notice this one, so I'll just mention it now. Just calling out some of the big movers today. Cat moving a big move on up. That look for me, Deere moving a nice move there. So definitely some different stocks moving up today. Let's see if there's anything else that stands out here. Dish moving up today. Expedia having a good time. So it looks like the reopening trade working well there in Expedia. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the Qs. Really quickly, the Qs, what did well there. Looks like Marriott is up about 1.8%. WBA up, but not seeing too much here in kind of the Qs here. Not the best day here for tech, as you guys can see. AMD coming on down there, Nvidia coming on down, and some of the bigger names just getting some big pullback here. What were hurt the most? Look at TSM today. Didn't expect to see that turnaround. That's a hard turnaround there from the top side action. You can see around the 104s. Now you're down there towards 99 on TSM. So definitely semiconductors not looking the best right now. We'll see what happens on those. All right, that's going to do it for us. We're going to go ahead and wrap on up. We got about 2 minutes left. What do you boys want to talk about?
Well, I'm obviously going to be watching the Twitter stuff. I mean, I think that goes without saying. I want to know what's going on. We'll see if I end up taking a position. I have none as of right now. I'm going to be watching Lex. This thing moves around quite a bit. It's got 1 win, 1 L on it. We'll see if we get some more juice there. ATER looks like this might be going higher. And then, of course, we're going to be watching the SPY, the VIX, and the broader market.
Definitely, we're going to keep watching that. What do you got to say, Zunaid?
Well, here, if you want to go ahead and share my screen. So this is Twitter. I'm just thinking out loud, Twitter, you got $80 was about the high, right? And if the buyout offer is around, what is it, 54, whatever the case might be, it's about a 30% decrease in premium than what it was at the all-time highs. That doesn't really matter, but that's just how I'm looking at it from the board's point of view, where they were, where they will be. Something that I am playing it with is spreads. I just went ahead and got some, so I'm going to go ahead and share this tab here. I went ahead and bought the $50 calls, right? Went ahead and bought the $50 calls, and I sold the $55 calls. So it's a spread. It's a call spread. If you don't know how to do this, please do not get yourself into this. But pretty much I'm risking $1, aka $100 per contract that I have. And by the way, appreciate you, Jessica. I just got your email on VERU. Really appreciate your support. And this is what awesome. My expectations look like in terms of profitability. If they do go ahead and if Twitter goes above 55 by the end of the day, I get a 4% increase, 400% increase, or I lose 100% if it stays below $50 pretty much. So that's the spread that I have. Buy the 50, sell the 55 for next week. It is a YOLO, but I'm adjusting my risk so that I'm not just flat out paying $150. I'm only paying $100 per contract. But we'll see you folks Monday, and we'll see how this plays out. But fun stuff to look at.
This guy, hit the like, you know it. Hey, we're going to go ahead and wrap on up, guys. You guys have a great one. Like always, hit the like button. Enjoy that. And of course, if you can do us a favor, guys, hit the subscribe button. That's going to go ahead and notify you the moment we go live. So tell your friends, the best trading chat room is right here on Benzinga. Like always, guys, hit the like. Up next, you guys got Spencer Israel AB in the house. So hit the like and we'll keep it going right here on none other than Benzinga.